Welcome everyone. How are you all? I hope all of you are staying healthy and safe at home. It's July now and I believe that a lot of you must be concerned about your upcoming SPM exam. And do you know that starting 2021 this year, you're going to sit for SPM with the new format? So in this video, I'm going to give you an overview of the new SPM format that starts to be implemented this year. In the old format, we only have 2 papers for English. Now in the new format, we have 4 papers, which are Paper 1 Reading, Paper 2 Writing, Paper 3 Speaking, and Paper 4 Listening. As you can see in this table here, each paper is equally weighted. That is, each paper is worth 25% of the total exam mark. That means all 4 papers are equally important. However, the time allocated for each part is different. Reading paper takes 1 hour 30 minutes, so as the writing paper. Listening is shorter, that is 40 minutes, and the speaking paper is approximately 13 minutes long. Now I explain each of the paper briefly. In this video, I will give you a brief introduction so you will have a general idea on how the new format is all about. Then I will share some other videos to cater the answering techniques. Then I will explain the format of each paper in details. So please subscribe to my channel so you will get notification when new video is published. Alright, now let's look at Paper 1 Reading. The reading paper consists of 5 parts and a total of 40 questions. Each question is worth 1 mark and each part has a different task types. The first part consists of 8 multiple choice questions, which you need to read 1 short text for each question and then choose the correct answer out of the 3 options. Let me show you the example paper. Now this is the sample paper published by Lembaga Peperiksaan Malaysia as contoh item as an example for us to have a brief idea about how the paper looks like. Okay, so this is paper 1, part 1, question 1 to 8. You have multiple choice question with 3 options, and each question you have to read through a short text like this and answer the questions. Okay, so this is part 1, a total of 8 questions. Okay, alright, now let's proceed to the next part, which is part 2. Part 2 consists of 1 closed text, which you need to fill in the blanks by choosing the correct answer from the 4 options given. Okay, then this part mainly tests your knowledge on grammar. There are also a few questions to test your level of vocabulary. Okay, and so this is how part 2 looks like. Okay, closed text with gaps, and you have to choose the correct answer to fill in the gaps. Okay, alright, let's proceed to part 3. In part 3, you have to read a long comprehension text, okay, like this, and you have to answer 8 multiple choice questions and also choose 1 correct answer from 4 options. Okay, this is part 3. Part 4 is gap text. So you'll be given a text with 6 gaps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gaps here. And you have to choose the correct sentence from A to H that fits correctly into the gap. And the final part is matching and information transfer. In this part, you need to read through a series of short texts and also some statements for a few questions. And then you match these statements to the correct text, to the correct paragraph. And also you have to complete some notes by filling in the blanks with words taken from the text. I will go into details of the reading paper and teach you some answering techniques in the next video. Okay, so basically this is what paper 1 is like. Alright, now moving on to paper 2. The writing paper has 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the duration is 1 hour 30 minutes as I've mentioned before, and total marks is 60. That means each part you have 20 marks each. Okay, alright, let's look at a sample paper given also published by LPM. In part 1, you have to write an email of about 80 words to reply a short email provided. Okay, this is part 1. Okay, in part 2, you have to produce an essay of approximately 125 to 150 words in response to a series of bullet points in the question. And in the final part, there will be 3 questions. Question 3, question 4, and question 5. And you only have to choose one. The question that could be asked include article, okay, report, reviews, and story. In this question, you have to write about 200 to 250 words. But bear in mind that the number of words here is just a guideline for you, so you know how much or how long you need to write for each part. But it doesn't mean that you have to follow strictly to it, and marks will not be deducted only because you don't write exactly in this length. No? Okay? But be careful, try not to write too long because it may make you not having enough time to proofread and edit, or not enough time to answer the next question. And some of you may make a lot of mistakes when you write too long. And on the other hand, don't write too short because you need to provide enough language for the examiner to give you the appropriate grade. Alright, now let's move on to paper 3. Speaking. Speaking test also has 3 parts, and you take this test in pairs. This is just like the one you took for PP3. You'll be paired with one of your classmates that your teacher arranged. Both of you will be entering the exam room together, and you will see 2 teachers there. One is most probably your own school English teacher, and she will be the interlocutor who is going to ask you questions and gives you marks based on your overall performance. And another teacher is from another school, and she will be the main assessor who is in charge of giving you marks on your grammar, vocabulary, and communicative competence. I will explain all these criteria in details in another video. Okay, part 1 is very easy. The teacher will ask each of you some simple questions related to yourself, like your family, school, or daily routines. This is mainly to help you feel relaxed and confident, because we understand that some students may be very nervous or scared, and this may affect their performance. So at this stage, the assessor will not give any marks yet, but you still have to prepare well because first impression is often very important. Alright? And in part 2, each of you will be given a topic, and the teacher will give you 20 seconds to prepare. Then you are going to talk about it on your own for about 1 minute. And part 3 is a pair discussion task. You'll be given a different topic with a few points for you to discuss. You have 20 seconds to prepare before you start your conversation with your partner. And both of you are going to talk about the topic using the points given for 2 minutes, and another minute for you to come up with a decision together. And then finally, the teacher will ask each of you an extended question that deals with some general issues related to topic you have discussed, and each of you have about 1 minute time to answer the question. Finally, the listening paper. It consists of 4 parts with 30 questions and 1 mark for each question. In part 1, there are 7 multiple choice questions with 3 options. Okay, let me show you the sample paper. This is a sample listening paper given by LPM. Okay, so this is part 1. And for each question, you will hear a short recording in which people talking in different situations. Okay, so this is part 1. Okay, for part 2, you will have to listen to a conversation which is much longer recording, and you need to answer 8 multiple choice questions based on it. Also, there are 3 choices given and you just choose 1 correct answer. In part 3, you will listen to 5 different short extracts spoken by 5 different speakers, and there are 7 statements given, A to G. You need to match the correct statement to the speaker who talked about it. And the final part is note completion. This one you have to write the word on your own. You have to listen to a much longer text and then fill in the missing gaps in this summary text with words taken from the audio. So that's the end of the listening paper. Okay, so that's all, the brief introduction of the 4 papers of English. Since this is a new format starting this year, so there won't be any past year papers for you to refer to. So, and SPM candidates this year is the first batch of students who are going to sit for it, but don't be panicked. As you can see, the sample paper which I have shown you throughout this video is released by Lembaga Peperiksaan Malaysia as a guideline. I will also share answering techniques for each of the paper, parts by parts, and even question by question in the upcoming videos. I hope these videos will help you to build your confidence in your SPM. So see you again in the next video. Bye!